Hi, I'm Timree and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do these darling sea bottles with this beautiful sea glass colors and starfish and all. This always adds a great coastal flair to your home. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off with our 5 brushes. This is our extra large brush. Then we have our fatty brush. Then we have one that's a little bit smaller. That's our medium brush. You'll skip a brush, you have your littlest brush. That's our baby. And then we have our brush that's in between our baby and our medium, and we call that the tween. I always like to start off with our extra large brush right here. And so I'm going to do this sea bottle painting, and I'm going to tap a little water and zhuzh the white. Because you'll notice that the background of it is actually going to be like this cute kind of hip subway tile. So I just want to do kind of a white wash. And notice I put a lot of water in it, and I'm just going to kind of do a lot of white in the background. I know that it's hard for you to see on camera, but you're just going to tap a little water, grab a big chunk of white, and again, it's like I'm not taking anything too seriously, but you definitely want to have good water on your brush, because when we go ahead and kind of cut the subway tiles on it, you want it to kind of blend properly into the wet paint. Okay, so I went ahead and I got that white background on. I'm not even going to wash my brush. I'm going to just tap a little water. I'm going to take a little bit of black, just like so, just a little bit, poke, poke, and I'm going to kind of flat my brush out. Flat, like so. And then I'm going to cut it. You'll notice that your brush goes 2 different ways. Your brush can go fatty, like so, or your brush can go skinny, like that. So in my skinny position, I'm simply just going to take it, and I'm just going to cut it, cut, like so, like that. And I'm going to go ahead, and it might not be perfectly straight, so I might kind of like do like that, and I'm just going to cut it here, that to kind of give it a kind of subway feel. Make sure it's kind of straight. If you find that it's not quite perfectly straight, you can go ahead and take a medium brush, grab a little white, and just kind of blend it out, just to kind of give it some texture, like so. You can kind of go back and just kind of give it a little texture here and there, so that way it looks about right. Okay, now let's go ahead and we're going to take our fatty brush. Actually, let's just use our extra large one. That way it just kind of gets the job done. I'm going to take my extra large brush. I'm going to grab a chunk of that black, zhuzh it, chunk of black, a little bit of chocolate brown. And notice I just kind of like twirl my brush and chunk it like so. Okay, nothing too fancy. And I'm going to go ahead and get the bottom in. And I'm going to pretend that there's little, I'm always adding little water. These are my little, I'm going around what's going to be my little sea bottles, like here. I'm just kind of getting it in like so, back and forth, just like that. Okay, just make sure you have a nice clean edge and that this part goes across like that. Okay, now I always like to have like a little dimension, so I'm just gonna grab a tiny little corner of white, nothing too fancy, and just kind of blend it, little corner white, just to kind of give it, you know, like that. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and put our brush in the water. Washy. And I'm going to grab my medium brush, I'm going to zhuzh the white, and I'm going to grab the biggest chunk of white I possibly can. Okay, and I'm going to have my center shell, and I'm just going to take this and do a really kind of chunky white part on it, like so. That's just like the background, okay? I totally get it's hard for you to see, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my tween, tap a little water, zhuzh the black, push it, move it, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to start here, cut it like that, and I'm going to go around it like so into a little kind of spiral, like a spiral, like that. Okay, I'll wipe it off, and you'll notice like if you get a little black in it, that's okay. Just pick up some white, kind of shadow it like that. Now, this one's going to have a little bit of chocolate brown on it. So I'm going to take my tween, zhuzh the chocolate, like so. And I'm barely touching my canvas. I'm just going to take it and kind of bring it down like so. Bring it down to add some kind of dark brown. You know, the ones that are kind of like striped like that. Kind of striped. And again, nothing really makes sense. I'm just kind of like, maybe it has like a little freckle here and there. A little freckle, maybe it kind of comes up a little bit more like that. And right now it's really wet, so it's okay to kind of go back later and add some black. That will allow it to kind of pop a little bit more. But I just need to take, like I'll show you, I'll barely touch it, like so. But we can go back to that shell. Okay, but we'll go ahead and put the little basin. So I'm gonna grab my medium brush, and I'm gonna grab a chunk of white, a chunk of black, and I'm gonna do kind of like a grayish sea bottle here, like so. And you'll notice like I'm always getting white moments and dark moments, like so. So you wanna see all those different ones. And I take a little chunk of white, a little chunk of black, I'm just gonna do a little smile right there. That kind of anchors the bottle. I'll take that like a little leftover, like so. I'm actually gonna put another sea bottle there, so I don't wanna go too far. And sometimes I'll kind of wipe off my brush and just kind of poke a little white. And if you just do like a little slash slash, just to kind of show that it's like glass, like so. Okay, let's do our next bottle. And we're gonna go ahead and do our starfish. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna mix the starfish color first. And I'm gonna take a little bit of pretty yellow, a little bit of hot pink, a little bit of white, and a little bit of ugly mustard, just a whole big combo, mixy mixy. To get kind of like an orangey, starfishy, corally color, just like that, okay? And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna corner the white, like that. So I'm gonna do my starfish. So I'm gonna go ahead and you can kind of like trace out where our starfish is going to be. Okay, so like let's pretend that's our starfish. I guess I'm not pretending, that's what it's really gonna be. And I'm gonna take it, corner a little white, and I'm just gonna push it like this. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. And that kind of gives it like some fun texture to it, like starfish texture. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. You can kind of like make it kind of come out a little bit, so it's like a little bit more starfishy. Push it, pushing like so, up, 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 up. Just like that. It's kind of like upside down, like that, but it needs a little shadow. So I'm gonna take my brush, a little chocolate brown, like so, and I'm just going to just push, 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 just along the edge. Just along the edge like that. I'll grab more chocolate brown just along the edge. A little shadow, and I might take a little bit more chocolate. Just have some more. I'm just poking very lightly. Just poking very lightly on it for a starfish. You can even add like a little red to it. If you just kind of like maybe want it a little warmer in color here and there. Okay, so let's go ahead and washy washy. We're gonna do that sea bottle, and we're gonna do this beautiful light blue color. Light blue, and again, I just grab a chunk of white, just like so, and let's go ahead and fill that in. Let's go ahead and fill that in. I'll kind of like outline it first. And this one we're gonna put a little label on it, so I'll leave part of it white. I'll go like that. So you'll notice if I start painting and you're like, oh no, I got some of the black in it right there. It's okay, just kind of embrace it. You can add a little black anyway, just to kind of give it like a little shadow. Maybe that was a little too much. Okay, now you have this little lip, so I always like to grab a little bit of light blue, a little bit of white, and again, we're gonna do our little smile right there. Right there. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, washy washy. Let's go ahead and we're going to do this sea bottle next. We're actually going to start with the sea bottle versus the shell, or in this case, it's kind of like this like coral. And we're gonna do like a sea glass green. And I'm gonna take a chunk of turquoise, big chunk of white, little chunk of yellow. Just a little chunk of yellow. Let's go ahead and fill that in. And you'll notice you'll have that turquoise. It almost kind of turns like a mint, pretty mint color. And like, it might be a little darker here, a little bit lighter here. And honestly, like that's what you want. Just embrace it when those colors kind of happen. We always like to say, or I like to say, just love it and leave it. Love it and leave it. It kind of gives it like, see how it kind of turned like yellow like that? It kind of gives it like a nice little like reflection color. Okay, so there's a bottle there. And I might just take a tiny little corner of dark green. I just take a tiny corner of dark green. And this time I'll do a little shadow in that dark green color. Just a little bit here. Maybe I just put a little bit here. It's like, oh, just a little shadow of dark green. Just like so. Just like so. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and washy. And I'm gonna take that medium brush and we're gonna do a shell here. So we're gonna do this one a little bit later. We're gonna do the shell. So I'm gonna take my medium brush and I'm gonna take a chunk of white, a little chunk of hot pink, mixy. So I get this pretty kind of light pinky color for our shell. I might just put a little bit pretty yellow in there. Just a little bit. That, and I'm gonna go ahead and corner the white. And again, your brush goes two ways. Your brush goes fatty and skinny. So in my skinny position, I'm just going to, it's got a little bit of block in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it down like that. And I might corner some white. You'll notice that when you do that, you kind of see the texture like a fan like so. And the shell kind of has that little bottom part like that. Now, this needs a little bit more definition. So I'm going to grab just a little corner of white just to kind of have some accents. And I'm also going to take maybe a little bit more hot pink, maybe a little bit more chocolate, just to give it like a little darker. And I'm going to flat my brush. Flat my brush like that. And in my skinny position, I'm just going to cut it. Cut. That way it just gives it some more color and a little bit more dimension. Okay, so I'm going to wipe off my brush. Wash it good. And I'm going to do this sea bottle. I'm going to do this one in brown. I actually have barely any brown left, but that's okay. Just use what you have. You know, maybe it was on purpose that I don't have that color. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of brown. Maybe I'll take a little ugly mustard with it too. I'll corner some white, and let's go ahead and do this bottle here. Yeah, so maybe it's like a lighter brown because the background, this is dark anyway. I'll make it a little bit, I'm gonna make it even lighter. I just pick up some white. And again, when you do your sea glass to kind of the top of the bottle, I just take it with a little corner white, and I just do that tiny little smile. And you can take maybe a little darker, just picking up some darker paint. You can kind of go underneath it, just to kind of shadow it a little bit more, just like so. Okay, so we're gonna do our big sea fan coral. And again, I'm still using my medium brush, and I'm gonna take a little bit of that dark purple, put it in there with some chocolate, and a little bit of black, mixy. I don't normally mix my paints. If you notice, I just kind of chunk it. But in this case, you kind of want it to get it the right color. Okay, so I'm going to take it, maybe add a little white. And first, I'm going to make sure I tap good water. So I got a good zhuzh. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to kind of fan it out. And I'm going to take it and it's going to kind of come out here, like so. Fanning it out, tap a little water, barely touching my canvas. It's like, oh, it went off the page. That's crazy, but it looks good. Okay, might have it come out here. Now, the key to the fan is just using the corner of your brush. I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start these kind of funky, pouncy circles, like so. And I'm just going to keep pouncing these circles. There's no kind of special way of how I do it. I just kind of take it, the corner of my brush, and I'm just pouncing just random circly things, constantly reloading my brush, going to all the way to the tip of that, like so. And you'll notice sometimes I'll get a little white in it from the background of our trendy C subway tile, and that's what you want. I'm just constantly tapping it. Kind of hold this because it's kind of bouncing like so. Just constantly going back and forth, just kind of pouncing these circles. Like so, get it. And look at, oh no, it went off the page. That's great. Like you don't have to have your whole painting like right inside the canvas. You can have things kind of go off the page. That's what makes it look cute. So back and forth. And honestly, I kind of feel like the faster you go, the better. If you're taking time to like do each little circle, then you want that kind of randomness. You want that kind of randomness to it. Like so. Like so. Great. Okay, let's go ahead and washy. And we're gonna do our C bottle here. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of just straight up clean white and just paint this in. Technically, it's always better to kind of paint in any kind of label at the beginning of your painting. That way it's dry, so when you do paint any kind of wording on it, it will kind of, it won't blend in too much to your paint. But in this case, you know, it's all good. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna bring it down like that, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take my baby brush, tap a little water. Whenever I use my baby brush, I kind of take a little bit of the black, put it to the side, and I zhuzh, and I twist it to a point, like that. And I'm gonna put, this is where you can always monogram it or do something, you know, custom. You could put the year, but I'm just gonna put the word C, S-E-A. This is another part, like right here, if you wanted to do a monogram. Maybe if you ever feel like you need to kind of go back, add like a little highlight. I might take a little white, add a little highlight there, And like I mentioned before, if you need to go back and shadow, you could just take straight up black if you feel like, if you take that black, just to have a couple more moments where it allows certain things to pop because it was too wet before. But honestly, I think this looks great. So I'm gonna take my baby brush. Of course, you can choose whatever color you want to sign your name. I'm gonna choose this kind of pretty light pink color. And I'm gonna sign it Timree. And of course, my last name's Gold. So I put the gold like so. Thanks so much. Hey there, if you love this coastal painting and want to see more like it, definitely subscribe below and leave a comment on different other beach ideas that you have in mind for me. Check out Timree.com for everything I do, and if you really want this one, you can have it. Just contact me.